necessarily what?
I don't want to say hate. I think hate is a strong word.
Okay, hello. Welcome to this week's reading vlog. Basically, all I do is read literary fiction books because for some reason I find the best time to read literary fiction books is in the summer, and I kind of have a joke for it. Not really a joke, but I say that it's because summer is honestly my least favorite season. I'm a little bit miserable being so hot and sweaty all the time, and in most cases, people in literary fiction books are kind of miserable. So I feel like I can relate to them on some sort of level because I'm also miserable. But obviously that's a little bit of a joke. Don't take that too seriously. And yeah, honestly, that's all that this is. This is just me reading some literary fiction. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, I don't entirely know what the title of this video is, but the first book that I chose for it is All Fours by Miranda July. I'm in a literary fiction mood, I guess, because when I first started getting into reading in 2020, I think that I started with literary fiction, and I found a lot of good books that way. I found Normal People by Sally Rooney that way, and I love that book dearly. I think that when I was getting back into reading, I went through literary fiction, not obviously all of it, but I went through that phase, and then I went into fantasy, and I kind of didn't leave fantasy until recently. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm getting back into literary fiction, or I just want to read a lot of it at the same time. I don't know, because I still do read literary fiction, just not very often, or when I read fantasy, I read fantasy after fantasy after fantasy, and I don't do that with literary fiction. And I guess I'm just trying to say that I want to do that, but I don't know how to explain myself very well, apparently. Anyways, I picked up All Fours by Miranda July whenever I went to Books A Million. Honestly, I can't particularly say why I picked this one up, except for the fact that I know it's literary fiction, and I know that it came out last year in 2024. Anyways, I'm on page 139, chapter 10, and this book is so weird. It's so strange, but I love it. No, okay, I don't want to say that yet. I don't want to say that I love it yet, but I'm still very intrigued. This lady, the main character, she sucks, and that's a common theme with a lot of literary fiction books, and so I honestly don't know why I like reading it so much, because, sometimes it's hard to read books about people that suck, so it's definitely very interesting. I don't feel like I can quite entirely explain to you why this woman is so awful, so I do have a few quotes to read you, hopefully that will convey to you how terrible she is. Well, okay, let me actually give you the premise first. So this woman has a trip to New York planned, and she was originally just going to fly like a normal person because she lives in Los Angeles. But then because of something her husband said at a party, she decided to drive to New York City because she normally isn't the type of person that would do that. So then basically just to try to prove that she could be that kind of person, she decides to drive. But then on the first day of her driving there, she abandons the entire trip and stops in this small town in California that's not that far from Los Angeles and stays there, essentially. Anyways, okay, I found the quote. I feel like that can convey why she kind of sucks. Okay, so basically this scene, she's drinking a water bottle. That sounds so stupid out of context. Well, honestly, it's stupid in context too, but it's especially stupid for me reading it to you. Anyways, she's drinking a bottle of water, and apparently whenever she was drinking, she thought it was the best water she's ever had in the world. So then when she was not thirsty anymore, but there was still water left, she just let the water, basically she just dumped the water bottle on herself, because since it was such good water, but she was not thirsty anymore, that doesn't really make any sense. Anyways, this is what the quote is. That's the context for the scene. When the bottle was empty, I daintily put the cap back on. He took it and threw it in the recycling for me. A different kind of person would have just commented on what just happened, made a joke, or offered to get me napkins. By not doing any of these things, he was complicit inside the performance with me. But it wasn't a performance, was it? No, nothing I ever did was. It was only ever the truth of the moment, coming out freely and expecting to be understood. Not made much of, just taken seriously like any honest speech. It was dumb, but anything smarter would miss the point. I was speaking now to all my friends and family. You have all missed the point of me. I don't know if that quote actually conveys how annoying I find this character, but basically she's just so artsy, it's annoying. She is a semi-famous artist. We don't know specifically for what. I think maybe some writing, maybe some other things. I don't know. In the first couple pages, she said it was of various mediums, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I just she's constantly mentioning doing things as a performance, or getting validation from doing something super well, or I don't know, just doing things very pretentiously. It's really annoying because I don't think the blurb tells you very much on the back, and I really want to tell you something that happens in the book, but I don't know, it's not really a spoiler, or I guess the spoiler because it's what happens, but it's not like anything crazy. I don't know. It just adds to her pretentiousness. So I want to tell you, but I cannot. Anyways, yeah, I'm on chapter 10. Like I said, yeah, this book is really weird. Like really, really weird. But I don't know. I love a weird book, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. I think I should hate it, but I don't. And that's okay. I guess that's fine. I guess that's my update for now. I guess it's a good thing because I need to see what happens. And I think that's part of the draw for me for literary fiction is these people are so bad and things that are happening are so weird and unusual that I have to keep reading. I have to know how it ends, even if I don't like the characters. So that's the current situation that I'm in. I think I actually might read a little bit more, but I will see you tomorrow when I continue reading.
This is not a reading update just yet, but I got a really exciting package because I ordered a case for my new Kindle and my new iPad from Etsy. So I'm gonna put them on. I'm really excited. I feel like I've been waiting forever. It probably hasn't actually been that long. Actually, no, probably like a month, which I feel like is a long time. But you know, with Amazon nowadays, anything that's not 2 days seems like a long time. Okay, I think I'm gonna do my iPad case first. This is what it looks like. It's literally so cute. Okay, and it folds up like this. Oh my goodness. Cute. Obsessed. Okay, and then I got blue gingham for my Kindle. Can you see? Wow. Okay, this is so cute. Okay, I'm so happy. Also, that was giving me anxiety that I had 2 very expensive electronics with no case on them. Isn't this so cute?
I've only read about 30 pages today, so I'm on page 194 in all fours. Oh boy, I am losing steam when it comes to this book because the main character, I feel like I can give you some context of where she's like back from her trip and she's not adjusting to her home life, like being back to her normal home life very well in the dumbest way possible. Like this is just ridiculous and I'm sure that's the point, but it is kind of just getting to me a little bit. The main character, she won't stop lying and she like knows that she needs to come clean about like lying to her family, specifically to her husband. She needs to like deal with her problems and she knows that, but she just won't do it. And that's really, really irritating me. Also, just something so strange about this book is the child. The kid in this book is so weird. And I just want to read you an interaction between the kid and the mom. Like the main character is the mom. I like don't understand if this is satire or I don't know if like I'm not around enough kids so I don't understand that this is like a normal thing. I really don't think it is a normal thing, but here's the quote. Okay. Who am I? They said. Who are you? I'm your mother. Mother? What's a mother? It's a person who takes care of you because you are their child. Child? What is child? They walked around the room touching all the familiar things with wonder. A child is a younger person. Is this a child? That's a bed. Literally what? Literally what? I don't understand that at all. I don't want to say that this book is making me feel stupid because I don't think I'm being stupid. I just think this is abstract and I don't get that. I did think of something last night though. Something else about literary fiction books that I really like is you get to see all sides of people. So like this character being a terrible person is obviously explored deeply because the book is about her. And that's something that I think is very refreshing coming from reading a lot of fantasy and romance because obviously everything is like picture perfect in those. Or like if there's character flaws, it's like not real character flaws because it's not a real like world or story or person. Not that this is a real person obviously, but I'm just saying that like because literary fiction is rooted in real life, I appreciate the fact that there's like real problems in here. Like people are, you know, specifically the fact that the main character cannot stop lying off, and I'm sure that's a real problem for some people. But basically my point is this character is really getting to me. Like it's always fun in the beginning when it's like, oh my gosh, this is so weird and crazy. How is this gonna pan out? And then you get to the middle and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe this person's actually like this. And then at the end, hopefully it's like a crazy wrap up or like a crazy conclusion or something crazy happens. So then it kind of balances out and makes the middle drag worth it. So I'm happy because I'm gonna go do some other things right now, so I'm gonna just listen to the audiobook. And I feel like the middle of at least this book specifically will be great for an audiobook, because do I even want to know what's happening? I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go and listen to the audiobook and I will update you later. Okay, I listened to a good chunk of the book. I only have about 100 pages left. Don't like it. I don't like this book. I think it's talking about sex in a way that I don't want to hear. I just don't understand why the main character is like this. I think I'm probably missing the message of this book. I don't really know what the point of this is, and I don't like the journey to whatever the conclusion, the point, or whatever is. But I have 100 pages left, so I'm going to finish it. And I just need to know what happens to the main character. Like, if all of her horrible decisions are going to come back to haunt her, or if she's just going to go on living her life like a terrible person. I just need to know. So, I'm going to finish this. Never in my life have I been so excited to be finished with a book. I want to throw this against the wall, but not in the way that I finished a book so good that I want to throw it against the wall. I don't want to say hate. I think hate is a strong word. I strongly dislike that book. It was really, 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 really not for me. Let me also say, I don't know if I've mentioned this yet. This book mentions menopause literally so much. If books could have age, suggestions maybe, hey, don't read this book until you're 40 years old. I'm 23. I'm 23. And menopause doesn't sound very exciting, and I'm sure it's not very fun, and I don't want to read about that. And listen, I feel like I'm also really riled up about it. I should have DNF'd it. I just told my boyfriend. I've been telling him how much I've not liked reading this book and how excited I am that I was done, and he was like, why didn't you DNF it? I have this hope that books are gonna get better, and this one just did not. And yeah, unfortunately this just really, in my humble opinion, was so terrible and awful. I really don't suggest it, and I don't know why anybody would want to read this. I don't know why anybody would write this. I'm so sorry. I think that this message, whatever message is in this book, just did not reach me. Maybe it wasn't even for me, which is okay, totally fine. So therefore, I'm giving this book 1 star because I should have DNF'd it. But only me right now knows that I should have DNF'd it. If I had DNF'd it, would I have been worried about what the ending was like? Maybe a little bit, maybe for a day or so. I probably would have gotten over it. I should have stopped. I should have DNF'd the book. Whatever. I can't do anything about it now. Except for move on. I don't know why I said I think. I know. My next book is going to be Talking at Night by Claire Daverly. I'm really excited about this. This is supposed to be reminiscent of Sally Rooney. Hopefully it's just a literary fiction love story, not literary fiction about weird people. And it's already kind of late. I'm actually excited to start this. I have high hopes for this. I literally never want to think about the other book ever again. Anyways, I'm gonna start this book. It's the next night, and I read a little bit further in Talking at Night. I'm on page 91, so really not that much further, but I'm really already so obsessed with this. I'm just noticing there's a flaw in my book. Oh, there's 2. Anyways, okay. I'm only on chapter 4, or I just finished chapter 4, but I can tell you this is absolutely very reminiscent of Sally Rooney. Not only because she doesn't use quotation marks, but because I guess, just the energy of her characters, they're very direct. I don't know, somehow the communication is direct and not direct at the same time. I just really enjoy the very to the point writing. It's not super overly flowery, but at the same time, a lot of the metaphors or like analogies that she uses are really unique, or like I tend to notice them or they stand out to me a little bit more. I want to keep reading, but I do have to say the chapters are like a little bit long. Like I read 50 pages tonight and I only got through 2 chapters. So for me, I feel like that's kind of long, which I have no problem with. I'm just saying that like I wish I could stay up later tonight and read more, but I do not think I have time for that. I unfortunately have to go to sleep. Well, I'm not really that sad about it because I am very tired. That's besides the point though. I am like really enjoying this book, and I'm excited to see where it goes, you know, since it's just kind of about the characters, and I didn't read the blurb very well, and I don't want to. I love going into books blind, so all I knew was that this was compared to Sally Rooney, so I picked it up, and I'm gonna stick with that. That's my update for tonight, and I will catch you later tomorrow with my update. I'm on page 288 of Talking at Night, and this book is so good so far. I mean, I'm almost towards the end and I'm really enjoying it. I will say one major thing though. A lot of people say that in the book Normal People, which this book has been compared to, but in Normal People there's a lot of miscommunication, which I don't necessarily agree with. I kind of just think in Normal People, like, they're just afraid to express their feelings, so therefore they withhold them, which leads to miscommunication, but I don't think that's outright miscommunication. I do think this book, though, has more outright miscommunication, where the characters will word things a specific way to protect their feelings, and then the other person will interpret it, like, completely wrong, and then the other character who said the thing in the original, or in the first place, like, won't even try to correct them, if that makes sense. Like, it's not, like, intentionally, I don't know how to exactly explain it, but it's not intentionally, like, lying or anything like that, but it's like saying something a certain way, knowing that that other person will interpret it a specific way, and then when they do interpret it incorrectly, they're like, well, that's how you interpreted it, that's not what I said, but they won't do anything to resolve it, if that makes sense. So if you think I'm gonna do quotes, the miscommunication is bad in Normal People, you're not gonna like the miscommunication in this book, because it's even worse. It's a rough time out here. You know, a lot of very harsh things are happening to the characters. They're going through a lot, and they rely on each other a lot, and they're there for each other a lot, depending on the time period in the book. I don't know. It's very interesting. I want the characters to get together, but I'm honestly not holding out hope at this point, because it's like, I don't know. You know, I mean, the classic, like, they're trying to do everything they can to dance around the topic of them actually getting together, but yeah. I'm like 100-ish pages away from the end, so I'm gonna sit here and finish this. But all that being said, I am still really enjoying this book. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I finished the book and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It is extremely reminiscent of Sally Rooney. Of course, that I loved that though. And it tackles people dealing with grief while also trying to be in a relationship very interestingly. And also there's a surprising amount of like conversation about what people are meant to do in life, or like finding your purpose kind of, which that was an unexpected surprise, but I did appreciate that, because as somebody I don't know, growing up, being an adult, of course I'm interested in like finding my purpose in life, apart from my family and my job and, you know, that kind of stuff. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, I really did enjoy this book. Like I said, it's very reminiscent of Sally Rooney, but it does not compare to Sally Rooney in my opinion. And I want to look up though if she has any other books, because I would love to read some more of her writing. It was stunning. I did really enjoy the writing. I dog-eared a couple pages that I really liked, or a couple pages with quotes that I really liked. And yeah, I'm really glad I read this. And also, especially considering that I read a book that I absolutely hated in this video. So I'm so glad that I had a positive book to read after that experience. I don't think I have anything else to say though. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I'll see you next week for my next video, and bye.